Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Monday meetup. And this is me, Vijay. And hope all of you are safe and well. And thanks for joining us today. So, today's topic would be stay connected, stay engaged. Even if you are in your home countries, there are always ways to stay connected and stay engaged with Lakehead and its staff and faculties through our wonderful programs. So today, his Monday meetup session will be hosted by me, Vijay Babu. I'm one of the international student advisors, and Lahama Nahim, who is one of our wonderful international student assistants, will be helping me here answer your queries and also share her experiences with the online program. So in our agenda for today would be, today we'll be talking about a little bit about online programs that we offer for international students, our peer mentor program, our conversation club, Lakehead Orientation, which is the main campus orientation, International Orientation 2020, which is our very own international orientation, our Peer Connect event, which is part of our international orientation, and 10 to 8 appointment booking. If you're not able to hear me, please type in the chat section and let me know. So before we start the session, here are a few things to remember. We'll be sending a link to the recording afterwards, and if you like what you see, do like us on our YouTube page. And if you have any questions, you can use the Q&A function to submit your question to us, and we will answer them either live or through chat. And also we have our popular Instagram and Facebook pages. So do follow us on our social media to get the latest updates on any future events, webinars, or even online programs, and even to get an insider view of Lakehead University. So most of you know me by now. So anyway, I'll just tell you again. My name is Vijay Babu. I'm one of the international student advisors at Lakehead International Student Services. So there are other international advisors as well, like my colleague Latifa and Laura. So as international student advisors, we focus on providing advising services related to course registration and other academic advising services, general advising, non-clinical personal counseling, and other things. And I am an alumni of Lakehead. I joined Lakehead in 2016 winter in the MS Computer Science program and graduated in 2018. And a little bit about my hobbies. I like hiking and trekking, as well as reading books and writing poetry. And that's everything about me. Now we'll head on to Lahama.
Thanks, Vijay. I think I've met some of the participants today, but for anyone that doesn't know who I am, my name's Lahama. I am an international student assistant at the international office. So basically my job is to create lots of engaging virtual programming for students throughout the year and just stay connected on a student-to-student level. I'm also a current student at Lakehead. I'm going into my third year of my undergraduate degree, and I'm taking biology with a concentration in neuroscience. And some of my hobbies include baking. I really like going outside, like nature and hiking, and I like lots of creative things. So, you know, I've tried a couple different things during quarantine, including learning how to knit, do some embroidery, stuff like that. And I'll be helping Vijay out today with answering your questions, as well as just telling you guys about my experience about staying connected and why I think it's important. And I bake lots of cakes and cupcakes. Vijay wants me to talk about my baking.
Thank you, Lahama. Yeah, Lahama here bakes excellent cakes. And if you want to check, you can check our Instagram page. And heading on to our session. So Lakehead International Student Services offers a variety of online programs to engage with our students. One of the popular ones being the virtual coffee house, which is hosted by our student assistants, about which I'll be talking about in the next slide. We also have our drop-in immigration session. So if you have any questions about study permit, visa, those sort of things, or anything related to immigration, feel free to drop in one of these Zoom sessions, and you can connect with our immigration advisor, Jennifer Hay, who will be happy to address your queries. We also have our First Impressions Friday as part of our PM Inter program, where we show you one location of Thunder Bay each week, like live stream it. So if you have any questions about the location, you can ask us then and there. So these online programs are a great way to stay engaged with the campus as well as connect with other international students. And we really love connecting with our students, and we encourage you to join these programs so that you can meet as well as interact with other students, make friends, as well as connect with the staff and faculty, and also know about the latest updates. So this is a virtual coffee house. So this is a fun program where you get the opportunity to interact with other students and our student assistants. Our student assistants like Lahama run this program, and each week there is a new theme. Like one week it would be like you'll be having Mandarin classes. Other week you'll be watching a popular show with our student assistants. We also have like virtual bingos online, which was a fun event. And so yeah, there's always something out there that are happening in the virtual coffee house. I would highly recommend you to check this out. And um, if you visit Lakehead Online Community of Care page, you'll find the Zoom link for this. And yeah, in the chat section, Lahama will be tapping in the link for our Lakehead Online Community of Care website, about which I'll be explaining in detail in our last slide.
I'm just sending the link in there, so
yeah.
Stay posted.
And a virtual coffee house happens every Friday. So in the chat section, if you see, we have shared the link for the Lakehead Online Community of Care website and its online program section. There you'll find the Zoom link for virtual coffee house. The next thing on our agenda is the PM Inter program. So the PM Inter program is a fantastic program run by the International Student Services team, where we connect experienced Lakehead international and domestic students with a small group of new international students like yourself to help ease your transition to life, to your journey at Lakehead. For most of you, this might be the first time you're being exposed to the Canadian education system, and which might be a bit different to what all of us are used to back in our home countries. And our peer mentors will act as a friend and a guide in helping ease your transition to the new education system, and also share their perspective. We understand that students are much more convenient talking to another student or asking queries to another student rather than a staff or faculty. And faculty, and that is one of the major objectives of this program. So if you're interested in signing up for the PM Mentor program, you can send an email to me at pmmentor.intl@lakeheadu.ca, or you can even sign up through our Lakehead Online Community of Care website. So yeah, I think we have a question here. What is PM Mentor program? As I said, like PM Mentor program, it's a program where we connect, we group students into several peer groups, and each peer group will have 2 peer mentors. And these peer mentors are experienced Lakehead students who would help you know about the different on-campus services and resources that are available to you as a Lakehead student, and also share with you their personal experiences about Thunder Bay, like where to get the groceries or set up a bank account, everything from a student's perspective. And we all of us know that it's easy. Students feel easy to connect with a fellow student rather than with the staff. Like some of us might feel it's a bit awkward. But yeah, if you have any questions, you can always ask your peer mentors as well as us, the advisors, and we are more than happy to help you. Another big part about the peer mentor program is the fun events and activities which we organize as part of it. So this is a great way to connect with other international students and make friends. Like the students like this program so much that they try to become mentors then following year. So I would highly recommend that you sign up for this program. And if you have any questions about the program, do send me an email here at peermentor.intl@lakeheadu.ca. The next, we have our conversation club. This is also a great resource for you to connect with other international students as well as improve your communication skills. So students will be discussing different topics, like whether reading or personal or general questions. It's a safe area for you to improve your communication skills and also interact with other students, make friends. And the conversation club happens every Monday and Wednesday from 8:30 to 9:30 a.m. and on Friday from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. And please note that all these timings are in Eastern Standard Time. So you might want to check out the time difference between your place and the time and Thunder Bay. And the Conversation Club is run by one of International Student Advisors, Latifa Olatunde. And in our online Community of Care website, when you're trying to book an appointment, you can see her. And most of you might also know about her as well. So the next thing is our Lakehead Orientation. All of us are really excited to connect with all of you, our new wonderful Lakehead Thunderbolts, and Lakehead Orientation would be the perfect starting point for it. So this is our main campus orientation. And you can, if you click on the link here and as well as the link shared by Lahama, it will take you to our orientation website where you can check out all the program schedule for for different orientation events. We have a host of events for orientation. And you can also learn about the different campus and services and get oriented about them, as well as receive important updates and information. So do check out our orientation website because this will give you an idea of all the wonderful events that we have planned for you and to connect with. We also have our international orientation session. So this is especially for international students, and this will be happening on Thursday, September 3rd, 2020. So you get to connect with our staff, international student advisors. And if you have any questions about this international student orientation, you can send an email to Sarah Melvin, who is our International Student Services Coordinator. The registration link for this orientation can also be found on our Community of Care website, as well as I'm also sharing it in our chat section. Do register for the international orientation because it's a great way for you to know about the International Student Services team and the services that we offer for international students. And as part of the international orientation, we also have our Peer Connect event. So this is a great opportunity for you to connect with our experienced Lakehead students. And if you have any general questions, ask them, as well as there are also like fun topics to be discussed with our volunteers of the Peer Connect event. And Lahama can talk more about this one.
Absolutely. So like Vijay said, the Peer Connect event is a really great way for you to meet other students. All the leaders that will be running it are current or recently graduated Lakehead students, and they'll be talking to you about, different things that you'll run into in Thunder Bay. Some of our topics include, how to find groceries and how to use transit around town, how to find part-time jobs, what that's looking like. We'll talk a little bit about volunteering and volunteer experience, why it's important and how to get involved like that, as well as just other things that you'll need like on a daily basis when you're living here. We'll also be talking about, what Thunder Bay is like as a city, what stuff you can do, and exploring. And even if you're not coming here personally this fall, I think it's really good to still have that information for when you do transition to Thunder Bay. But yeah, we'll be having 2 sessions at 10 a.m. and also at 3 p.m. on September 4th. And there's going to be lots of different students from, different backgrounds, different programs coming. So if you have any specific questions to your program as well, or anything about your experience you'd like to ask, I think this will be a really, really great place to do it. As well as there will only be students. There won't be any staff members or anything. So I feel like it'll be a very comfortable and easy environment as well, very casual.
Do join us for our Peer Connect event. And yeah, as Lahama had mentioned, that there's a great opportunity for you to meet with students from even your own programs. So we'll have our peer mentors, our global ambassadors, everyone there. And now this is our Lakehead University International's online community of care webpage. So this is where you'll find all the latest updates, which the international team has to tell you, and you can also find a list of all our online programs. And Lahama shared the link for the online community of care webpage. And you can also find important updates about immigration under the immigration session, as well as our hot questions of the day. And this is also, you can book an appointment using a new 10 to 8 online appointment booking system. So let me see if I can show you how to do that. Can everyone see my screen?
Yep, looks good.
So this is our online community of care webpage. And here you'll find a list of our online programs, and as well as their Zoom links and their timings. And please note that all the timings are in Eastern Standard Time. So you have the link here. If you click on it, you can join the session at this time. You have the link for the Conversation Club and the peer mentor program. So if you're a student from Thunder Bay, then you need to click on the first link to be assigned a peer group. And if you're a student from Aurelia campus, then you'll have to click on the third link to be assigned to a peer group. So this program is run in both campuses, and only registered students of Lakehead can join them. And the next important thing is we also have our immigration page here, where you'll get answers to some of your important questions related to immigration. You can also book an appointment with our immigration advisor, Jennifer Hay. And we also have a drop-in session every Tuesday and Thursday from 3 to 4 p.m. And the link for which is given in this website here. And now I will show you how to book an online appointment with us. So on your left-hand side, you'll see a link known as Appointments under the Community of Care link. So if you click on that, it will take you to our appointment page, and here you'll have some quick housekeeping points which you might want to remember while booking an appointment. And then to book an appointment, you just have to click on this drop-down list, select the area for which you need advising, whether it's academic, financial, or general advising. And let's say if I select academic advising and click on submit, and here you'll see the list of advisors with whom you can book an appointment. And once you click on book an appointment with an advisor, you'll be shown a list of timings that are available, and you can select the slot that is convenient for you. And once you book an appointment, you'll receive a link for the Zoom session of that appointment. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. And now, if you have, feel free to enter any questions in the Q&A section, and we will be happy to answer them. So we have a question here. I'll be moving to Thunder Bay with my family. I would like to know the best way to find a housing, which is the safe place to look for housing in T-Bay. So most of you would have received an welcome package email from our office, and in this welcome package email, we have listed out the links of various websites where you can find uh, information on available housing off campus. One of our recommended websites is rentpanda.ca because they verify each rental listing that they post on their website. So that is one place. The other websites are kijiji.ca and off-campus lakehead.rentals. And but yeah, again, we recommend that you visit RentPanda because it's one of the safest websites because they verify every single listing on the site as well. And if you have any questions about programs, you can always reach out to our in-country advisors or a recruitment team. So anyone has any other questions, feel free to enter them in the chat, in the Q&A section. So we are still waiting for some questions. Okay, so I guess we don't have any questions, and yeah, it, these online programs are a really great way to connect with other international students, and we at LU international team, we really like connecting with all our students and answer your queries, and we really look forward for you to join these online programs and events so that we can connect with you, just like how we connected today through our Monday Meetup webinars. And these online events are really fun. Events, for example, in our virtual coffee house section. And we yeah, I think we are getting some questions in the chat section here. I would encourage students to use the Q&A function to type in their questions because it would be easier for us to keep track of them there. So we had a question about the PM Inter program, like, is this program open to students, to prospective students, or only to students at Lakehead? Or only to students registered at Lakehead University. So the PM Mentor program is open to all students who have been admitted to Lakehead University. And but unfortunately, it's not open to prospective students at this point. So we have a question here: how to register for Lakehead University's orientation? For the international orientation, you would have received a link, a registration link in your welcome package. And if you haven't, let me see if I can share that with you now. And for the main campus orientation for the different events, you'll find the registration links in the orientation website, the link for which we shared earlier. And also that website will be updated pretty soon. So you can find even other one-stop registration links for a lot of other things. So in our chat section, I have typed in the link for orientation registration. And yeah, Ram, would you like to share your experience about the virtual coffee house?
Sure. Yeah, so we've been running the virtual coffee house for a couple months now, and maybe I'll share some of my favorite things that we've done so far. So one of the ones that I really like are usually when we do language takeovers, because we'll get someone from that native language to come tell us some basic phrases, and sometimes we'll also do like some sort of cooking show from that cuisine. So one thing that we did is, I don't know if you guys know this, but Canada's second official language is actually French. And we actually have a whole province of Quebec that is dedicated to French people. Like, it used to be called New France, but now it's called Quebec, and there's exclusively French speaking people that live there, and it's full of French culture. So growing up in school in Canada, you are actually, at least in Ontario, you're actually supposed to learn French from grades 4 to 9, like as a mandatory subject. And I never really paid attention in class, in French class, so I didn't learn too much. But you know, like going into more government jobs and even navigating your way around, it can always help to have a second language. So we actually had someone come in and teach us some basic French phrases, and then we also learned how to make a classic French dish, and it's called crepes. It's called crepes in French, but crepes in English, and they're like a very sweet giant pancake, and it's filled with, you know, Nutella and bananas and strawberries and stuff like that. So that was probably one of my favorite, is learning the French, but also, you know, learning languages like Spanish and Mandarin and other languages that we have lots of students from, because it's really helpful if you meet a new friend and then you can like almost exchange languages with them. One other thing that we have done on the virtual coffee house, which I really enjoyed, is a like more dance and music type night. So we'll do like a guess the song or guess the soundtrack. We've also had some guest like students come on and share their performances. So we've had some people play the guitar for us. We've had some people do some dancing for us and lead like a dancing workshop and teach us different types of dance from different parts of the world. We've also done like quite a few cooking shows as well, some movie nights, also done some trivia, which I'm a really, really big fan of. I love trivia, as does Vijay, and we're quite competitive. So if you like trivia and if that's something you would like to see, definitely let us know and we can bring that back. And for anyone that doesn't know what trivia is, it's basically like general knowledge questions that you have to answer really fast. So it almost like tests your brain. So we'll ask questions about, you know, like everything in the world. We'll go from geography to food to history to like languages to sports, and everything in between. And it's just a really fun way to test your knowledge, but also learn lots of new cool things. So if that's something you're interested in, that's also something we've done. And last thing I'm going to talk about is Canadian slang. So when you come to Canada, you might hear some people talk and you'll think that they're speaking English, but it won't sound like English. And that's probably when they're using some Canadian slang, which is terminology that Canadians have grown up on that isn't like, you know, stuff you would hear in other parts of the world where people speak English. So one example I can give you is a lot of Canadians like to say a, like EH, at the end of their sentences. And it can be like, whether you're asking a question, like I can be like, Vijay, this webinar is really great, eh? Or you can be like, if you want to ask someone if they want to go out, like you want to go grab a coffee, eh? Which is really weird if you're listening from an outside perspective, but you'll probably hear that a lot when you come to Canada. So it's just talking about different things that are culturally different as well that we do on the virtual coffee house. So when you do come here, it's not as big of a shock, but then also you can like sit back and laugh at how different some things are here that people think are completely normal, which you might think is very weird coming from where you live in the world. But yeah, next virtual coffee house is on Friday at 4:30. And stay posted for what our theme will be. We'll post it on our social media, but you should definitely join and see what it's all about.
Thank you, Lahama. Yeah, virtual coffee house is a really great area for you to connect with other students and as well as have some fun online, like trivia night. Like trivia sessions, they are also really good. Like it also tests your typing speed. So even if you know the answer, it doesn't matter if you don't type it fast. So we have a question here. I have never taken an online course before, and I wonder how it is to be like and how I can prepare for it. So most of the online courses are in using Zoom, so it will be more like a video session, and your faculty will be. It's just like a normal regular lecture session, except that it will be happening through Zoom, through a video conference. And if you have any questions, you can always chat those questions to your professor. Whereas there is also web-based courses. So in web-based courses, your lecture slides will be uploaded to your My Course link, and you will have to download them and prepare them. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out to your faculty. Even your assignments and everything, they'll be uploaded to your My Course link, and you'll have to download and work on them.
One thing that we are going to be talking about the Peer Connect session on September 4th is tips and tricks from other students about online learning, and what they found has worked well for them, because sometimes professors have a very different outlook than a student does that's experienced it. So I would highly recommend you attending that session on September 4th then, and just to get some insight from other students on what has worked for them and what hasn't in terms of online learning.
Yeah. And as I had said in the beginning, like for most international students, the Canadian education system might be a little bit different to what we are normally used back to our home countries. And we understand that, and we would be happy to help ease this transition to this new system of education for you. And even our peer mentors would be more than happy to help you with that. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us, either through email or through one of our online sessions. So we have another question here. If I'm doing online class, how do I know where to go? Um, So once you register for your classes, we believe that your professor will be sending you a link, a Zoom link for that specific session, and and also your My Course link is a great source. That's where you'll find all the information about your courses and subjects, like the Zoom link, the assignments, the lecture notes. Everything would be there in your My Course link. Alama, if you can type and share the link for My Course link.
Yep, I'm just grabbing the link right now.
Yeah, we'll be sharing the link for the My Course Link website, and this is where you'll be finding all your lecture notes and all the information pertaining to your specific subjects and classes. And we have another question. The material of posted, the material. I think the question is the material posted for web-based course available for Zoom-based course students? Um, so it's basically the same course. It's not like a web-based course will have a different content and Zoom-based courses will have a different content. Everything depends on faculty. So the course content in most of the time is the same, and professors, they do upload most of them at least do upload the lecture slides to the My Course link, and you can access them. And if you, for some reason, you have any questions or queries, you can always send an email to your faculty. And do not hesitate to reach out to your faculty, because the faculty at Lakehead are very open and they'd be more than happy to help you. Don't feel shy or awkward. Just send an email to them if you have any questions or concerns about a subject, or you want to find out places where you can find online resources to help you better prepare for the courses. So that's all our questions here. And also we have a drop-in immigration session, as we had mentioned earlier. So that's a really great resource. Like it's hosted by our International Immigration Officer Jennifer Hay. And if you have any questions about you applying for a study permit or any immigration related questions, you can always reach out to her through a drop-in immigration session, which runs every Thursday and Tuesday from 3 to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the links for all these online programs can be found on our LUI Online Community of Care webpage. And even your welcome package. So our international office has sent a welcome package email, which has a comprehensive set of information about everything that a new student needs to know. Mhm. So we have another question here. Um, is it okay to become more informal with our supervisors while continuing to communicate with each other via email, like whether using the first name basis? So Lama, being one of our current students, can better answer that.
Yeah, so one thing that I would definitely say is to start off, especially in your email communication, you do want to be quite formal with your professors. Like make sure you don't use any slang, don't use any short form, like write it very professionally. If you're talking more of like a supervisor in terms of like maybe a job setting or you're doing like a thesis and you have a supervisor, maybe just err on the side of caution and address them with their formal titles. So a lot of professors will go by doctor and whatever their last name is, or Mr. or Mrs. I wouldn't start off being informal right away, just because that might give them a bad impression. And you're giving the example of they might use your first name, but I think that's quite common, especially with professors. Like professors will address their students by their first name. And some of them will say, oh, you can address me as my first name, but for the most part, it goes for students to be quite formal towards their professors. So I would call most of my professors by whatever their preferred acronym is, whether it's Mr., Mrs., or Doctor, and their last name, but they would call me Lahama. So depending on what your relationship is like with your supervisor, I think you can decide that a little bit further into your um, relationship with them. But I think to start off, especially if you're sending them the first couple emails, make sure you're like double and triple checking them to make sure they sound okay. There's no spelling mistakes. There's no use of short form like you would do in texting, because that's really the first impression that you're making. And then, maybe over time, as you become more, you get to know each other a little bit more, then you can become a little bit less formal. Anything you want to add, Vijay?
That covered everything, Lahama. And usually it's common for students to, in most countries, students to address their professors as sir or ma'am. Here it's better to address them with their title, like whether if the professor is a doctor, you can just address hello doctor and their first name or last name, or hello professor, which is much more generic. So these are some ways in which you can communicate with your professors. But as Lama had mentioned earlier, don't become informal at the beginning. It depends on how your relation is with the faculty. Um, and then we have some more questions coming in. So how is it going to be like the online exam, and can I get any material before the class starts? So each online exam varies, and it depends entirely on the faculty, like how they want to conduct it. Some might give you like an online, just like a normal online test, sort of an MCQ where you'll just select the right answer. Whereas in some cases it could be like a Viva where you'll be having a direct Zoom session with your faculty who will be asking you questions. So it depends on the faculty, to be precise. And uh, unfortunately, I'm not sure if you can get any material before the class start, but on the first day of your classes, most faculty would be giving you the course outline, which has all the information like when the different assignments are due, what are the different projects that you'll need to work on, and the deadlines. And please make sure that you keep track of the different deadlines for assignments, because your assignments and your projects, they carry a significant percentage of your total marks. So all these things will be in your course outline, as well as your reference textbooks. Everything will be there. Most of the faculty will be sharing this information either on the first day of your classes. So do not miss your first lecture session.
Can I add anything to that?
Yes.
Or can I, so depending on which program or which faculty you're with, sometimes professors use the D2L website that Vijay was talking about through my course link. And I've actually had some professors like keep their websites from the last year live. So when you're admitted, some of the course stuff might be in there. So depending on like your faculty again, you can check your my course link, log into there, and you might find some content there if you're lucky and your professor posted it ahead of time. But that's also where they'll be posting all their stuff throughout the semester. So if you do want to go back and look at something, make sure you're very familiar with my course link. And also sometimes they will put like their exams on that software as well. So there will be an option to go into tests, and they'll run their exam on the website itself. So yeah, not a bad idea to go on to there ahead of time. Even if you want to try logging in after this, it's the same login credentials as your My Info, but you'll just be putting into my course link.
Thank you, Lahama. So if anyone has any other questions, feel free to type them in the Q&A section, and we can answer them. Since it is my first time, so we have a question here. Since this is my first time to communicate with a foreign supervisor, is there a group or a link or website? Yeah, so I think the best option in this case would be for, like, if you want to learn how to communicate with your Lakehead supervisor or a professor, it would be better if you can connect with another student who is already here, and they can share their experience with connecting with the professor, like how to send emails. And again, as I had mentioned earlier, the professors at Lakehead are very friendly and open. So if you're not sure on how to address the professor, you can always send them an email just to clarify, like introduce yourself. It's always a good thing to introduce yourself, saying like, hello professor, my name is so and so. I just wanted to introduce myself. I've joined this program. Yeah, but I was wondering if you can tell me how to address you in my future email correspondence, because even professors do understand that the way international students communicate with their faculty back home is different. So they do understand the difference. So do not feel shy or worried or about anything. Feel free to reach out to them. But if you want to connect to a student to know their perspective, you can join our peer mentor program or conversation club or our online events like virtual coffee house, and where you get to meet other international students, even current Lakehead students, and you can learn from their experiences as well. And in the peer mentor program, these experienced Lakehead students who will be acting as your mentors, they can share even their perspective. So that's one question. So if we'll wait for another few minutes and to see if we are getting any more questions. Otherwise, we will end our Monday meetup session. So we cannot stress enough how important it is for students to be engaged in these online events and activities. because these are really great platforms for you to connect with staff as well as learn about the different services Lakehead University has to offer. Um, and yeah, even for just general questions like how to connect with a professor, these are a great area to meet other students and get answers to these questions. So I think we do not have any more questions, so we can end this session, I believe. All right. Once again, a big thank you to all the participants who joined us in our Monday Meetup webinar session. I hope the session was useful to you. And thank you, Lahama, for sharing your experience and with our online programs. And we look forward to seeing you all in our future online events and activities. Stay engaged, stay connected. See you all. Have a nice day.